How is it going, everyone? It's Kalumity here, and today we're going to be talking about a beat-em-up game on the Xbox Series X. You can also play this on the Xbox One, you can play it on Steam, and I'm sure you can probably play it on PlayStation as well, and maybe even Switch. But either way, we're going to be talking about the Xbox Series X version of this game, Cartoon Network Battle Crashers. This game is a beat-em-up based on some Cartoon Network characters. There's a handful of Cartoon Network characters to pick from. You can pick Mordecai and Rigby from regular show, Gumball from, well, The Amazing World of Gumball. You can pick Steven Universe from, well, Steven Universe. And you can pick Jake and Finn from Adventure Time. And there's a couple other characters that I'm not really familiar with that you can also pick. And you go through basically a theme for each one of these characters. You go through a world that is all themed around their show, and you just beat the tar out of bad guys. And it is a fun beat-em-up game. It's not super difficult. The final boss fight does have some difficulty, but for the most part the game is pretty easy to play through on normal difficulty. I didn't really struggle at all. It really is more of just a relaxing game to sit back and just play as some of your favorite Cartoon Network characters and beat up some weird crystallized monsters. And you will recognize some of these characters as well that you face, because there's a lot of Easter eggs to the actual TV shows and stuff like that. There's obviously a reference to a regular show. If you remember the episode where they literally fight death, well, you'll have an encounter with the character as a boss fight in this game, and you'll see a few other characters. Even the Ice King, you'll see him in this game as one of the bosses, but it's like a weird crystallized version of him. Don't expect anything too crazy in terms of story. It's just a simple Cartoon Network, mashup game. There's nothing going to be crazy going on here other than just, hey, all these characters are combined, they're all in the same dimension, and they're fighting crystallized monsters. But you really don't need more than that. That is plenty. The game itself looks absolutely gorgeous. It is very colorful, very vibrant, just absolutely beautiful. All the characters look great. They look just like how they are supposed to look. Their combat moves, each one of them has their own abilities, their own weapons, and I like every single one of them except for one character. There's one character that has like a soda pop gun, and it's so weak compared to everyone else's, but for the most part I like all the other characters and all of their weapons. With Finn, you can actually use Jake, and he can change into different forms like you can in the show. So you can use him as a hammer, you can use him as a boomerang, or you can just put him in your backpack, and he can reach out and grab enemies and things like that. They do try to have some sort of weapon that's themed with the show, but it doesn't always work out the greatest because, like The Amazing World of Gumball, like what can you do with that? So they give him a vacuum cleaner. Maybe there's part of the show where that's a thing. I don't know if I've seen every episode of that. I used to watch it as a teenager, but I don't remember very much from it. But either way, I think they did a good job with what they had. Obviously, Steven Universe, he has his gem powers that you can use, and he's definitely my favorite character to play as. Definitely the most powerful, I feel like, out of all of them. Or maybe it's just the fact that I played as him so much that I leveled him up way higher than the other characters. The final boss fight, like I said, it's the most difficult boss fight in the game, which it should be, but it's not really difficult because of, the enemy's strength. It's because there is this platforming section, which is the only real platforming section in the entire game, and it doesn't really work very well. I was able to pass it. I failed once on the boss fight, which, is what it is, but I do wish that I would have failed because of the actual boss difficulty and not because of platforming. Like the platforming was a little bit annoying and just felt way out of place. But, it is what it is. Another thing I do like is that you can find a few different items throughout the game, and these items will give you a little bit more replayability. One of them just makes it so you basically heal the entire time when you're replaying a level, which is basically like an easy mode. It's called, I think, Fantasy Mode. And then there's another one called Inferno Mode. In Inferno Mode, you actually take damage the entire time you're playing through a level, so it makes it harder, it makes it more difficult, and it's a lot of fun, but it definitely raises the stakes quite a bit, especially for some of the boss fights. So you have to basically try to get through a level as quick as possible. You have to try to beat a boss as quick as possible in Inferno Mode. It's not for everyone, but you only really have to use it, I think, twice. In 2 levels it's required to do, but you don't have to play through every single level on Inferno Mode, And the 2 levels that I picked are definitely doable. I did them both. I did each of them got them all completed the first time I tried it on Inferno mode, so I don't think it's too much of an ask to have you go through Inferno mode on just a couple levels. The achievements are pretty easy as well for the most part. They just require you to be playing the game a lot, I would say. You have to do a lot of the, power-ups and eliminate certain amount of enemies at a time. I'm not going to go for a full 1,000 out of 1,000 because I just don't really want to put that much time into this game. Just trying to get, achievements for each character. But they're not super difficult from what I can see. Overall, I do enjoy this game quite a bit. This game is on sale quite regularly. I picked it up on sale quite a while ago, actually. I think I picked it up on sale for like $5 when it was going, I think last year, I think it was when I picked this game up. But I do enjoy this game. I definitely like it. You're going to see a lot of Easter eggs, a lot of things from, different references from Cartoon Network's series and shows. You're going to see Steven Universe's friends. You're going to see Pearl in this. You're going to see Amethyst. And you're going to see, some characters from regular show. You're going to see some characters from Adventure Time. You're going to see a lot of references, and if you're a fan of Cartoon Network, then you're definitely going to enjoy this game. And it's definitely worth it if you're just looking for a fun beat 'em up that's, you can probably play and beat in about, I'd say I beat this in probably about 8 hours, maybe 5 to 8 hours. I'm going to put a time frame on there because it's kind of hard to tell how long it actually took. For some reason, it didn't keep track of my time. I don't know why it didn't. But overall, I like this game. I definitely recommend it, and I think you should play it if you are a fan of really any of these games. Even if you're just a fan of one of these series. If you're just a fan of Adventure Time, still worth playing because at least you get to play as Finn and Jake. If you're just a fan of Steven Universe, at least you get to play as Steven Universe. So even if you're just a fan of one of these Cartoon Network shows, I still think the game is worth picking up. Honestly, even if you're not a fan of any of these shows and you don't know anything about them, it's still a fun, easy beat-em-up game that I would highly recommend to anyone. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe button down below, and I will talk to you in the next video. You have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.